Hello and welcome to this quick videos about how to create tables and also create primary keys and foreign keys in order to establish the connection between a many-to-many relationship using SQL. So if I have an author table, I have the author ID as the primary key for this table, author last name, author first name, and the date of birth. And then I have a book table, ISBN number, that's the primary key, title, subject, price. I cannot connect the two tables directly, so I have to create a junction table that will allow me to link them together. As you notice in the junction table, I have the author ID coming from the author table, and I have the ISBN number, both acting as the foreign keys, but each one of them is acting as a foreign key. Author ID is acting as the foreign key for the author table. The ISBN number is acting as the foreign key for the book table, but jointly they are acting as the primary key for the junction table. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and show you in how to establish this using SQL. I'm using W3 Schools as a way of entering the SQL command for a quick approach to this problem. So let's go ahead and move to this one there, and hopefully we'll be able to show it to you in no time. All right, here we go. As you notice here on the left, on the left side, I don't have any at the author table or the book table or the junction table. So you should be able to see that after we create them. So I'm going to go ahead and say create table author, and I'm going to open parentheses and close the parentheses and put a semicolon. Then I hit the tab just to align my attributes. The first thing I'm going to go ahead and say author ID, and that's going to be an integer, not null, and I'm going to make it the primary key, comma. Then I'm going to have author last name, and that's going to be varchar of 50. And of course, we're going to go ahead and put the author last name, first name, here I misspelled the author by adding another E. I'm going to take it out. All right, first, and also this is going to be varchar with 50 character. Then we have the date of birth, which is of type date, and here we go. We're going to go ahead and make this, and we run the SQL command. I have the author already been created as a table here. So it's very easy to create the the many-to-many relation that is now became a one-to-many with the junction table. And if I say here insert into author values, I'm going to say here 111, and let's say here Smith for the last name, Jack, and of course we could go ahead and put the date of birth as let's say 0205, and let's say here 19075. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and insert that. Notice one record was added, and I could go ahead and change this to 222 and change this to Jones, and I'll say Maria, and change this to 3, and change this to, let's say, 6, and change this to 9 or 8, doesn't matter. Here we go. We're going to run it, so I have two authors established. Now we're going to go ahead and create table book. The same thing. I'm going to open parentheses, close parentheses, and hit the tab here. I'm going to say ASBN number. That is going to be an integer for now. In the real world, it's not an integer. It's a varchar, and ISBN number is an integer. At this moment, it's going to say not null, and it's going to be the primary key as well, the primary key. And we're going to say here title is varchar with like 100, then comma, then we'll say subject also varchar with 120, and the last thing we're going to say here price, and it's going to be full decimal. Go ahead and put it decimal. All right, And I'm going to go ahead and create this table. It was created. So we're going to say here insert into book values, and we're going to say here, let's say 1 for the first book ISBN number. Then the subject is going to be programming. No, actually title is C programming. Then we're going to say here programming the subject, and the price is $34.45. Here we go. Then we're going to go ahead and say to introduction to information system. Information system, and that's IS. All right. And this is going to be, let's say, $134. Here we go. Now, this is where it's going to take some time in order to create the junction table. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and continue with this. We're going to do the junction table. We're going to say here, create junction. And we're going to go ahead and say, create table junction. And open parentheses, close parentheses. And we're going to say here ISBN integer. Okay, and we're going to say here author ID integer as well. Then we're going to go ahead and say constraints. All right, primary key underscore, I'm going to call it primary for now, and this is a primary key, and I'm going to open the parentheses. I'm going to call it ISBN, and of course both of them, the author ID is going to be as well. Now we have to establish the foreign key. We're going to go ahead and say foreign key author ID. Okay, and that's going to ID, but we have to reference that in the table authors. Reference author, the table author ID, comma, the same thing constraint here, and it's going to be foreign key ISBN, and that is foreign key ISBN, and that's going to be references to the book table and ISBN number in that book table. And I'm ready to go ahead and create the table. Please take a good close look at this and to see how you're going to create the junction table. Run it. There is an error here. And here we go. We established that. Thank you for watching. We're going to continue.